I want to give a brief discussion of the upcoming essay. I know it's only a couple of days away, but I want to make sure that you realize all the details that you must fulfill and what exactly the essay involves. So let's go over some of the details. At the modules, of course, you will find this at the major essay module. So you just go down to it, click here, and it opens. I have you the instructions on how to use Turnitin, in case you're unfamiliar with that. Then I have for you an example of how the essay should look. This gives you an idea of both the structure, the MLA format, and also the length. And then an example of the works cited page of how to do an example works cited. This is going to involve research, so that you will be reading either in the textbook or other articles to help incorporate and bring in material. And so they must be cited within your paper and have a works cited page listed. The major essay topics are listed here, and then you have the rubrics that are applied. And as this is a video that this was an older one, I'll be replacing it with this one. For the major essay topic, when you click here, you'll see a presentation of some of the details, and the topics themselves pop up down here. And then when you scroll below this, you will see the bar that is listed here, and this is what you click on to open Turnitin. When I open this, you'll see that someone has already turned one in, but you'll see it has gone to Turnitin, and this is where you will see, let me go to the student view and show you what it looks like. So again, there's the details. The essay must be at least 1,000 words. You must follow MLA format, which means you will have proper heading on the left-hand side with your name, my name, the course, and the date in that order listed. Then you'll center the title of your essay. Then you'll go back to the left margin, hit the tab button, and start typing your essay. You will not have extra spacing between paragraphs, but every paragraph must be indented. This is not a block letter of some sort. This is a formal essay. You must follow the MLA format in that way. As you'll see, if the essays are short of 1,000 words, they do not follow MLA format, the grade will, it says will not be graded, well it actually will be, because a 0 will be recorded. I ask you not to use pages, because Apple version of a Word document pages and Turnitin do not work too well together. PDFs or Google Docs, if you save it to your Google Docs, sometimes when you try to upload it into Turnitin, the format gets readjusted for some reason. So be careful about that. It's not that there's anything wrong with PDFs or Google Docs, just that when you submit those, if you've already saved it as that, when it transfers into Turnitin, the formatting will not stay. If you do that and you transfer it into Turnitin, please check and make sure that your format has stayed accurate to MLA standards. Also, please do not use any AI-generated writing sources or engines. That is not allowed. Instead, it is regarded as a form of academic dishonesty in the same area of plagiarism. And the policy for plagiarism is that it's failure for the first assignment for the first offense, and then failure of the course for subsequents, which you typically don't have to worry about, since we're only writing the one essay for this summer. Keep in mind, please, that not just ChatGPT and the other AI engines, but also Grammarly is also considered an AI engine. When it goes in and changes your phrases and phrasing, which Grammarly does, it automatically updates and changes it, then that means an engine is writing the essay, and that will show up. So that wholly or partially, as it says here, wholly or partially, AI text will constitute this form of plagiarism. So please avoid Grammarly in the sense of letting it make the dictated moves. And again, you go down. Let me reload this so you'll see this. again, there's the bar, and when you click on it, it says it cannot process because I don't have a valid email address. So what you will see will be a submission button, and so you'll simply have to locate it on your computer and upload from there. For the topics, again, select one of the topics. Do not try to write out all of them. I had a student do that one time a couple of years ago. Submission was made. I looked at it and had to send the student a note saying, do not give me paragraphs over each topic. Rather, choose one topic and write a full essay. Luckily, that student had turned things in early enough that the student was able to revise and resubmit. So again, your essay should be approximately 1,000 words in length. It can go longer than that, depending upon what topic you choose and how you choose to approach it. Proofread your writing to avoid errors in punctuation, mechanics, and grammar. Spelling counts, folks. Yes, I also teach English. You must follow MLA standards. That means double space the essay. Have proper citation for all the references to material taken from the textbook and elsewhere. You must have a works cited page. Again, you'll see about plagiarism on ChatGPT. So here we go. The topics. You have a choice of different ones here. You have a total of 6 to choose from. The first one asks you to look at the Baroque world. If you watch the videos that were posted about the Baroque art, that will help you a great deal. You can use that one. Specific examples about music, art, architecture, and literature. It's going to be important because you're to discuss the characteristics of the Baroque. What are the characteristics? What marks something as a Baroque work? So you're going to look at art and architecture, literature, music. And again, if you watch those videos hosted by the British gentleman who calls it the Baroque era, you can find some good examples there. Again, cite the work. If you use the videos, there's a citation for that also that you should use. Some of the key points you want to make sure that you use in your discussion. It's about space, light, time, emotion, and virtuosity. Those are all important. As you work with any particular ones, again, you have several examples in the textbook that you can use, but you can also go elsewhere. And as I said, I have some articles that are available for you, as well as the videos that are there about the Baroque. The other topic is to actually look at the Venetian painting style that is discussed in your textbook, and the painting style that was very common in Rome at that time. There are some sharp differences between these two styles. You want to discuss very specific examples, 2 or 3 of the Venetian painting style, 2 or 3 of the Roman, and that way it'll give you an opportunity to expand your discussion as you explain how each of those 2 or 3 works represents and illustrates the style of Venetian or the style of Rome. Look at the differences in how the subjects are presented and, as it says here, interpreted. Discuss the use of color, especially the Venetian and Roman, and also the idea about spacing and how that's used. Staying with Venice for number 3, you're to look at the Venetian school of composers, such as Gabrieli. Again, are they really Renaissance, or are they something else? And so you get to argue that point, whether they do fit Renaissance standards, and that means you have to know what the Renaissance period of music is, how it's defined. So that would be part of your discussion is, here's what the Renaissance period of music is, here are the key traits, here are the details of it, here are examples of it, and then discuss how Gabrieli and the Venetian school either fit those standards or do not. And if you say they do, well, discuss their examples. If you say they do not, again, you'll explain how their specific works, something by Gabrieli, for instance, does not fit the standards or doesn't meet the traits of the Renaissance. Again, that's what you have to argue in this particular essay. The 4th one asks you to look at 2 of these 4 individuals who were very important in science. Science is very important during the Renaissance and era of this time that you're covering. So choose either Copernicus, Napier, Gilbert, or Harvey. Do not write about all four, choose only two, which means you're basically going to do about 500 words over each one, which is not very extensive to have to do. You get to talk about how each one is important in science, how they changed science at the era in which they were living, and also that how what they contributed continues to be important and regarded as significant. So you get to discuss those aspects for two of these four. Again, the textbook has information, but you can also look elsewhere. The fifth one concerns Michelangelo and asks you to look at him. He has very distinct periods in his art. And so there's sculpture that he does in each era, when he's a very young man, when he's middle-aged, and when he's older. So those are basically three eras of his sculpting period. And you are asked to look at a sculpture from each period. And notice it says sculpture, not painting. So don't talk about the Sistine Chapel. But look at his sculpture. So you can look at his depiction of David, his depiction of Moses, his depiction of the Laurentian Library sculpting they did. There's just, again, his Pieta, again, a number of works that are available for you to discuss how each one from different periods shows his style and what it seems to be emphasized during that particular era. So again, look at those works and talk about how they will influence and do influence later elements in art. Again, look at each specific one. So if you choose, again, one from each period, there are basically 3 periods in his life, and you discuss each work, you're only writing about 300 or so words over each work, which should be fairly easy to do, to discuss what style is presented, what each one represents, and how it also influences artists of his era and later. The last one asks you to look at Hamlet. You may be familiar with the play. It's when you open up the particular chapter, it shows David Tennant as Hamlet. But again, looking at him, he really fits, the character of Hamlet really fits with the traits of the Renaissance, as described by Castiglione. Notice that the title of the play is actually Hamlet or the Prince of Denmark. And so that ties us into the Machiavelli work, The Prince. So again, you have to be familiar with Machiavelli. You should be, since we've already gone through chapter 12. And so you're going to look at the character of Hamlet as both the courtier, as Castiglione depicts what a courtier is supposed to be, what that figure of the member of the court should represent, and how he fits that, again using key quotes from the play, and then also how he fits a Machiavellian prince. Again, looking through the play, pulling key details. So you have to be familiar with the play if you're going to write about this one. So these are the topics, fairly straightforward, and ask you to do research over each one. Now let me lower this for a moment and go to the module and show you the example essay. And I'm going to leave the student view, I hope. Yeah, there we go. All right. So this is the example essay. If I were to download this, you would see it's a little over 1,000 words, so the length is right. You can see how it takes approximately 5 pages, plus the works cited page. Notice that it uses the textbook, and then has 2 other articles that are used. Notice how the works cited entries are listed in MLA format. The first line of an entry goes against the left margin, and then when you have to have a second margin, you tab over once and put it in. You'll see this is done here as well with DeNova. And this title actually right here should have been in quotation marks. Likewise up here, the title of the textbook should have been italicized. And then on this one by Pace, the title of the article should have been in quotation marks too. So to here, that should have been in quotation marks. But the formatting, other than a couple issues, meets the standards. So that's how your works cited page should look. Excuse me. Wrong thing moved. There we go. So again, when you look at this particular essay, you'll see that there's a header. You need to, again, add a header. This is the heading. Now the heading should have been over here. The student tabbed over and should not have. It should have been up against the left margin. The titles are here. This is centered, and then you go back, hit to the left margin, tab over, and begin writing your essay. You'll see that this is an introduction, and so it sets up a thesis. To the most influential religions are these. These religions were directed early on to focus on God's prophet origin stories. So you have several different aspects here that are going to be looked at. Again, gods will be discussed, prophets, origin stories. So your thesis is set up here. The next paragraph is tabbed over, picks up on one of the topics about deities, how the Greco-Romans view deities, and how the Christian deity is regarded. You'll see that this information here, this line about Zeus and Jupiter, and Greek and Roman, how they're basically the same, is paraphrased from the textbook, so a citation is offered. Again, quotation, directly quoted material, but also summarized and paraphrased material must be cited. So, parenthesis, Cunningham, page number, close parentheses, period. So again, you'll see another one there. Later, you'll see one from Pace, where this information is taken from the article by Pace. Then the same paragraph, some of this information here about the priests being doubling as magistrates in Rome. That's from De Novo's article. So again, you'll see the citation is provided. Likewise, as you go through, here's a direct quote that is offered, again from Pace. Another direct quote is offered here. You'll see it starts with two main functions. Harmonious balance is the end of it. Then there is the citation in parentheses, and then the period. The period does not go after the quote. It goes after the citation. Further, you'll see this is a lengthier quote that is taken. That should have been tabbed over, but you'll see this is a block quote because it takes up more than 3 type lines, but it does not have to have those, the quotation marks. If you block it, you do not have to use quotation marks. But the period will go after the blocked quote, and then you put your citation and no period. So that's, again, this is not a perfect essay, but it gives you an idea how yours can look. Again, you'll see the development, you'll see more details taken from the articles and from the textbook. So you want to make sure that you're drawing information from that and citing it when you use it. Again, sample works cited page, I showed you the one for this one. This is another example of the works cited page where the textbook can be done this way, listing Cunningham, he's listed first, so last name, first name, and then the other 2 authors are listed this way, first name last, or you can do it this way with just the et al. So it doesn't matter which way you do it. Now, again, always alphabetize your entries. So Callie Joseph comes before Cunningham Lawrence. So again, it gives you a couple of options on how to use the textbook citation. And then let's go back to the module for this section. Give it a moment. Takes a little while to jump. There we go. And again, the rubric showing how this is to be scored. And again, you'll see the rubric has different areas. I can zoom this up. We're going to lose part of it. But again, this gives you the different areas that are the idea of this one's also talks about these three Susie, I'm having a little difficulty. You have the thesis and introduction, the the use of the evidence and the as you go through and the analysis of the ideas. Make sure you have everything in organized fashion. The format as you are supposed to be again, excuse me, the MLA standards, and then the use of language and style, proper spelling, mechanics, punctuation, and again the standards of meeting those as you go through different ones. If you do not address the topic, if you don't meet the expectations, the length, the MLA standards, etc., all that gets that way. If it has a generated material, this is where it goes. And again, I just go through and I just click on those, and that gives the idea of what your essay has fulfilled, did not fulfill, and the points are then generated. So that's the rubric that is used to score your essay. And so there we go. So again, as you work with that, you can look at this rubric, see how that is. One of the key aspects in the development of the essay is, again, making sure that you fulfill the expectations. You click on this, you'll see it's mentioned here. It's mentioned again on the handout itself, what the expectations are, the length and the standards, and then you just choose one of these topics and work from there, and then you hit this to upload. So I hope that all is going well. If you need to look for additional material beyond the textbook, the library resources are an excellent source to look at. If you go to the EBSCO Discovery, if you put in, for instance, the topic of Venetian School of Music, and search, you'll be asked to log in. It's the same login you use for Canvas. Again, excuse me for that. And it will go here and it will call up several different aspects here for you. And again, the church as a source of early traditional stream. Venetian School, this is about the School of Painting. If you want to look at that one, that's an important aspect you can look at. And then here's one about Gabrielli. So the Venetian School of Music and the Venetian School of Art, you have both of those. But this is about Gabrielli, where you can look about details about his, the idea about a Venetian school composer, and what he was like, and what he did, and how he fits in. And so then again, here's the idea about Venetian music, the idea of some of the key details here that are mentioned, that you can see how you can apply those. So again, what is important there and how he does. So again, you can look there for information as well. So the library resources. For research, for academic writing, ladies and gentlemen, do not use Wikipedia. So please do not go there and use that. But again, our library resources are ones that you can use. So again, I'm looking forward to receiving the essays and reading them. I will try to get to them as quickly as I can. So again, when you submit the essay, you go here to the topic, you scroll down here below, and you click on that bar. It is due on the 23rd, which is Sunday, but just a little note for you as I go here to show you this. I give you a little lapse over to Monday the 24th. So you do actually have a little extra time. I know with everything sort of pushed in summer, it's just every couple of days equals a week. So it's a little hard trying to get everything done. But we're now getting into these last week and a half of the course. And so I'm hoping that you'll be able to get everything taken care of. So again, I'm looking forward to the essays. And again, I hope that this will prove beneficial to you to watch.